I think so many people are watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
You can't handle me! That's what Angel Reese used to yell at Caitlin Clark, but after their latest face-off, Reese isn't saying much of anything, because actions speak louder than words, and Clark's actions, they were screaming. We're about to break down this epic rivalry, from the trash talk to the final buzzer. You'll see how Clark turned Reese's words into fuel, lighting up the scoreboard and silencing her critics. It's a story of redemption you don't want to miss. Ready to hear what Clark's game had to say? You know how Angel Reese was always in Caitlin's face? Well, things just got real. Picture this, Caitlin Clark walking into Wintrust Arena, all business. Meanwhile, Angel's there trying to channel her inner Dennis Rodman with some flashy outfit. But Clark? She's not here for the fashion show. She's here to play.
She's the first rookie to win WNBA Player of the Month since the award's inception in 2010, and last night it was no exception. They were sky high for Caitlin Clark and the Fever, but to start the season, they had a little bit of a rough go of it. They lost their first 5 games. They ended up 1-8 through their first 9 games, and during that first month, the playoffs, they didn't feel realistic at all. Indy entered the Olympic break 11-15 on the year, and then they really turned it around. They've won 7 of their 8 since. They clinched a playoff berth for the first time since 2016, which, by the way, was the last year of Hall of Famer and franchise icon Tamika Catching.
The game kicks off, and suddenly Chicago's up 21-9. You can feel the tension in the air. Everyone's thinking, is Clark gonna choke? I mean, this is the big leagues now. It's not college anymore. But Clark, she's about to show everyone why she's the talk of the town. Just when you think it's all over, boom! Clark starts cooking. She's not just playing basketball, she's putting on a clinic. She's hitting threes from so far out, you'd think she's trying to shoot from the parking lot. And those passes, they're so slick, they'd make your head spin. It's like she's got eyes in the back of her head. Check this out. By the end of the first quarter, it's 26-23. Clark's not just playing, she's on a mission. She's erasing that lead like it was written in pencil. And you know what's wild? She's doing it with a smile on her face. It's like she's saying, "You thought you had me. Think again." The crowd, they're losing their minds. Every time Clark touches the ball, the place erupts. It's like they know they're watching something special. And Angel? She's starting to look worried. It's written all over her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go down. By halftime, Clark's got the Fever in the lead. She's dropped 23 points and dished out 9 assists. That's not just good, that's insane. And Angel? She's still trying to figure out what hit her. She's sitting there with just 5 points and 7 rebounds. It's like she showed up for a gunfight with a water pistol.
Caitlin Clark became the first ever rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double twice in the same season. In that game, Clark scored her 103-point shot this season, becoming just the 6th woman. My WNBA Player of the Week, surprise, surprise, Indiana Fever rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark. There's nothing really to say other than that. She's winning Rookie of the Year. She's a top candidate for league MVP honors.
But you want to know what's really crazy? This was more than just a game. It was the Chicago Sky's first ever Barbie-themed game. Imagine that. You've got this intense rivalry playing out, and everyone's surrounded by pink and Barbie dolls. It's like the universe has a sense of humor or something. And let's not forget why this matchup was so intense. Remember when Reese did that "you can't see me" thing during the NCAA championship? Or that time she hit Clark on the head? Yeah, there's bad blood here. But Clark? She's not saying a word. She's letting her game do all the talking. You think this is wild? Just wait till you hear what went down in the second half.
At what point were you waiting to pull out this?
Man,
Kind of the Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark is a hell of a
Incredible.
player for sure. But I don't take disrespect lightly, and she disrespected Alexis. I wanted to pick her pocket, but I had a moment at the end of the game, and I was in my bag. I was in my moment, yeah.
Things are about to get even crazier. Think you've seen desperation in sports before? You ain't seen nothing yet. The fourth quarter's coming up, and it's about to turn into a Wild West showdown. Only one player's leaving with their pride intact, and it's not who you might expect. As the final quarter kicks off, Clark's team is up by a whopping 27 points. It's not even a game anymore, it's a clinic. Clark's out there making the sky look like they're playing in slow motion. She's threading passes through impossible gaps, sinking threes like she's playing Pop-A-Shot. The crowd's going nuts every time she touches the ball. But here's where things get ugly. The Chicago players are losing it. They're throwing elbows, making cheap shots. It's like they've forgotten they're on national TV. And guess who's leading the charge? Yep, Angel Reese. There's this one play that'll make your jaw drop. Clark's driving to the basket, all grace and speed. Out of nowhere, Reese comes flying in. Bam! She smacks Clark right in the head. At first, you think maybe it's an accident. I mean, this is a physical game, right? But then they show the replay. Oh boy, this was no accident. Reese knew exactly what she was doing. The refs huddle up and boom, flagrant foul on Reese. Unnecessary contact, they say. You think? Now here's where it gets really wild.
Came out a few weeks ago that said Caitlin Clark received 17% of the WNBA's flagrant fouls this season, and 80% of those flagrant fouls were committed by the Chicago Sky against Caitlin Clark league. And that's what a lot of players and coaches said about Caitlin Clark and about the rookie class coming into the league, is that that was going to be something that they would need to adjust to. They would need to adjust to the physicality of this league. So there have been cheap shots, there have been hard fouls, there have been other plays that haven't even been called flagrant fouls. But when you have the face of your league getting nearly 20% of all flagrant fouls called against her, that is an issue.
With about 4 minutes left, Clark heads to the bench, but she's not sulking or icing her head. Nope, she's laughing it up with her teammates. It's like she knows she's won more than just a game. And Reese? She's still out there, desperately trying to pad her stats in garbage time. It's kind of sad, really. While Clark's celebrating with her team, Reese is chasing after meaningless points and rebounds. When the final buzzer sounds, the scoreboard tells the whole story. Clark's put up a monster 31 points and 12 assists. Reese? She's barely scraped together a double-double. Talk about a statement game. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about how they played. Clark let her game do the talking, while Reese, well, she let her frustration get the best of her. After the game, Reese tried to defend that flagrant foul, calling it a basketball play. She even took a shot at the refs, saying, "I can't control the refs. They affected the game obviously a lot tonight." Here's a wild stat for you. 80% of all flagrant fouls against Clark this season came from the Chicago Sky. Seems like they've got it out for her, huh? But you know what's really telling? While social media was blowing up with fans praising Clark's dominant performance, people were mocking Reese for chasing stats in a blowout loss. It's like watching two different movies playing out on the same court. In the end, Clark didn't just win the game. She won the battle of composure, skill, and sportsmanship. And Reese? Well, let's just say she might want to rethink her trash-talking strategy for next time. Clark didn't just win a game. She rewrote the script on how to handle bullies on the court. No trash talk, no cheap shots, just pure, unadulterated skill. And you know what? That silence spoke volumes. This Clark-Reese rivalry, it's like gasoline on the WNBA fire. It's got people tuning in who've never watched a women's game before. And it's not just about the drama, it's about top-tier talent pushing each other to new heights. But here's the kicker. This is just the beginning. These two are young, hungry, and at the top of their game. Next time they face off, you better believe it'll be even more intense. The WNBA's never been hotter, and we're all here for it.